and welcome to On the Lime. I'm Will.
And I'm Kayla. In this episode, we sat down and talked to Bartley Weaver of DreamWeaver Fitness.
He also does a lot of really cool stuff on top of that. He's the Titan man for the Tennessee Titans. Also, he does some competitive food eating, correct?
Yeah, it's like the strangest thing that because he's such a big, bulky guy. I wouldn't see him as a competitive eater, but he is a beast. And it's amazing. And
bulky and like a fit. Like he does bodybuilding contests. He's been bodybuilding since he was like really young. So I mean, he doesn't look like your traditional guy. I mean, a lot of times you see those competitive food eating contests and it's either like a really skinny dude who can just pound food down or a bigger dude. I guess maybe that's just my opinion of it. Maybe I don't watch enough of it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It is interesting to think of a bodybuilder who's also a competitive eater. And this dude has a day job too. So he is just kind of your all-around Renaissance man. Very interesting to talk to Bartley.
Yeah, I don't know how he fits that much into one day, but he does a good job of it. And we talked to him about how he goes about his day and how he uses social media and his influencing to boost his business.
It's really interesting stuff. We hope you enjoy it. Here you go. Bartley Weaver on the Line.
So just to kind of go off the top, just to get to know you a little bit better, do you have those 3 I statements ready?
Yeah, I was just going to say something about a lot of people are interested in the food challenge world. So I was going to say something maybe like, I can eat 10 pounds of food in one sitting. I've been kicked out of all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. And I enjoy doing food challenges for charity and stuff like that.
Right on. So cool. I think we just watched the video that you had done the other day. Was it the
Boys General Store?
Oh,
yeah. We got to watch the Titan Tower.
Yeah,
that was tasty.
Yeah.
I wish I could have ate it slower, but they want me to do it fast.
We were watching it, and like the first stack, I was like, oh, that looks kind of good. I could maybe go for that. And then they added another, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit much. And then another, and I was like, oh, no.
And then a pie on top of all that, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's a bunch of different textures, too. So, I mean, I can eat a 7-pound omelet in 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, but just going through
versus you got the burger and then you got peanut butter jelly, which is hard to swallow.
Peanut butter is like difficult. Yeah, real difficult. A lot of
peanut butter.
I actually didn't eat peanut butter for years because of that texture. Like,
my girlfriend don't like it.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have you ever done like a straight up just like hot dog? I know that's like one of the common ones, like the hot dog eating contest.
I did a Busch Stadium. Last year I did the Nathan's Hot Dog Qualifier.
Oh, wow.
So if I would have won that, I would have been on ESPN for July 4th.
Wow.
So that's the goal this year is to...
Okay. What was your number last year? Do you know?
I did 24 in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Does that include bun and all?
Yeah.
Do you dip them?
Yeah.
Like, okay. I know that's like a strategy to like dip the dog.
Yeah, you have to.
Have you ever done the chocolate festival here in town? Does the Oreo contest? Have they ever tried to pull you into that?
I can't do it now because I signed a contract with Major League Eating. So
so that's not a sanctioned.
I can only do a MLE sanctioned.
Got you. Oh wow. So, I didn't realize it was that there's like rules and everything.
I had no idea there was a league.
That's the same one that Joey Chestnut and the big names are in.
Wow, so you're really making a run at it then, for sure. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm 32 in the world.
Oh wow.
Now, #1 in Kentucky. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you get into competitive eating?
Well, people used to just tag me on Facebook and stuff and be like, "Hey man, you ever heard of this challenge? We got this coming up. Maybe you should try it out." I'm like, "Well, okay." Free meal. Okay.
Never turned it down.
Yeah, we'll go to the gym, work out hard, and then eat something real bad,
Ever spicy foods or anything? Or
I've done spicy before. I actually love spicy stuff. But the thing is, man, the spicy ones are like spicy.
Yeah, and you pay later for sure.
Typically, they're not going to advertise it and have a food challenge if it's not off the charts crazy. Like I did a burrito one time that was just had ladles of ghost pepper sauce and habanero sauce, and not only did you have to eat the burrito, but you had to drink the sauce.
Oh no!
Yeah,
No!
Yeah, so it was like oil sitting on top of the
I got really.
sauce.
I think I've seen a video of a dude eating a burrito similar to that, and he's just crying. It's like it's so good.
I've actually got that one on my YouTube channel. It was in Columbus, March last year, and
nice.
I mean, I set the record. I ate it in like 2 minutes and something, but
nice.
You know, my stomach it swelled up after. There's so much.
Yeah.
So many oils and gases in there.
So you spoke about your YouTube channel. You have a lot of stuff going on your YouTube channel, but also just in general on social media, Facebook, Instagram, DreamWeaverFit. How did you kind of come to that as a way to promote yourself and brand yourself, like the social media through YouTube and everything?
Well, nowadays, you know, any type of social media, it's free advertising.
Yeah.
You know, so back a few years ago, I guess it was 4 years ago, 2016 is when I started my online coaching, personal training business, you know. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm not only just making posts about working out and trying to motivate others, but I'm trying to encourage them that, hey, I can help you too.
Of course, yeah.
So, you know, I try to utilize all I can. I've noticed that on YouTube, they like the eating stuff more than the working out stuff, you know. So, you kind of, whatever you're looking for, I've got something for
Is it kind of
you know.
flip-flopped on Instagram?
Instagram is my favorite right now, yeah.
Do a lot of story posts and...
A lot of story posts. You know, people do a lot of Snapchat and stuff, but I think I get a lot more views on...
Yeah.
Like looking at the analytics on Instagram.
And I feel like Snapchat almost has kind of fallen off. Like it took a while for it to fall off, the story stuff, but I think Instagram has just made it so that you can do just about anything you can do on Snapchat with your Instagram, and more people are following you on Instagram, you know. It's more public, it's more of that social media friendly environment instead of like a private, just my closest friends kind of thing.
I would rather look at pictures than read somebody complaining about something.
Same.
Like if you want to complain about something, at least I can tell from the picture and just swipe right through it.
I find myself on Instagram more and more because like you say, it's easy just to kind of bypass the stuff you're not really going to be interested in seeing.
I think a lot more businesses and you know, celebrities and stuff like that are more accessible on there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get a lot of, I mean, even on Twitter, like I get responses from people every now and then that I'm like, wow, I never would have thought they would have responded, but I guess it's just as easy to, you know, like it or share it. And it is fun to kind of build that interaction with your fan base, not even just as like a celebrity, but as a brand as well.
Right.
So you also do bodybuilding, correct? So you do like shows or whatever?
Yeah. I started competing when I was 20, so I'm 31 now. So about 11 years I've been doing it. I started working out when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
My dad got me in the gym and got me hooked. After a few months, I was like, come on, Daddy, let's go to the gym. It's time for the gym. You know, and he's like, all right.
Keep him honest.
Yeah. So...
was there any part you were like obsessed with at first? Like, was it like arms and chest, or was I mean? Like,
yeah, well, I pretty much started out with didn't do much legs. You know, a lot of parents are afraid to start their kids on you know, heavy leg stuff.
Exactly.
You know, while they're still growing. But you know, for the most part, you know, did the chest and the arms and you know, some back things. But you know.
So you had I think I've read that, or maybe read or heard that you did your first competition at 20. Is that correct?
Yeah. When I was 20 years old, I was in college. I had recently just quit playing football. I tore my ACL. So I've always loved working out. I mean, like you could ask anybody. I've always been a fanatic about it.
Yeah.
And I would work out, you know, even if there wasn't any competitions. It's just, you know, my time.
Exactly.
It's therapeutic. I love, you know, you get out what you put in. Aspect of it. In college, we always used to have to do our football team's workouts. You know, we had a little sign-in sheet. We had to put down the weights that we did. So I'd turn that in. And everybody else would usually go back to the dorm. I'd go to the Y. And I was like, well, I need to get some more stuff in because I didn't feel complete just doing a few, you know,
just a few reps.
exercises.
So what's something about the competitive bodybuilding world, like an assumption that people might have that is wrong?
Well.
Like, do you have to put a lot of baby oil on?
You don't. There's no baby oil.
No, see, I thought that there. Yeah. I thought you like oiled your muscles up before you got out there.
There is a type of sheen, so it is similar to baby oil,
so
but
baby oil.
there's the technology of that stuff nowadays is it's unbelievable.
Probably just allows you to see the curves and lines more. Yeah,
you don't want to look dry up on stage. And another thing I always get asked about is the tanning. Why do you have to be so dark? Well, the light is so bright. It's the brightest light you've ever stepped in. It'll just wash everything out. You can't see any definition. So
I don't know if you watch wrestling, but Sheamus, he's in WWE, and I know, I think it's probably his thing. But when he comes out, he has all that light shine on him. You can barely see him. It's just like a white light. There's no lines on his body.
He's so white.
But, so I would say now, you're a bona fide influencer. What is that like? Having a garnered a following, through social media?
Well, it's awesome being able to know that, I'm helping people even when I don't know it. I'll get messages from time to time saying, I've been keeping up with you for 3-4 years and I know you don't know me, but here's my picture from where I started working out and this is what I look like now. And I'm like, man, that's awesome.
Oh, that's super cool.
So, you never know whose life you're impacting, so one thing I do is I always keep it positive regardless. There's no negativity is not going to help anybody, so I always keep it positive, and even when negatives do come up, I'll turn it into a positive. Just try to keep everybody motivated.
The world needs so much more of that.
Exactly. And I mean, that's so refreshing to hear on social media too, because I think sometimes people try to turn it into a place to beat people down, and it shouldn't be that way. So that's good. Did your your exposure on social media, did that get you I know that you are the Titan Man, correct? Is that
right?
So I mean, did that kind of help you in that, or did you have to go to a tryout for that?
Had to do a tryout. There's an annual tryout every year.
Okay.
Actually, this past year was the first tryout they ever had. Whoever had it first, he's kind of inherited the position, and they opened it up to the public this year. Wow. I had a friend tell me, he was like, hey man, this got you all over it. You need to do it. I was like,
perfect fit for it. And the Titans had a great season, so maybe you're their good luck charm.
Yeah, we started out 2-4. I was like, man, this is this would be a lot more fun if we were winning.
What was it like being out on the field though?
Awesome.
Just the amount of people that they pack in. Is it Nissan Stadium? Correct?
Nissan Stadium, max capacity 69,000.
Wow.
So it's like the very first time I walked out, I'm like, man, I feel like a wrestler. It's like WrestleMania coming out. I got my own intro.
Yeah,
I got the crowd smoke that's blowing on me. I got intro on the big screen. Wild. So coming out, yell and flex, and it was a good time.
I assume some of the games are pretty cold though too.
That's there's been a few players. Suggest like, hey man, what are they gonna do with you when it gets cold? I'm like, I'll be all right.
We'll be out there.
Yeah. They have some fur accessories.
Okay.
That I can add.
That's cool.
I got a heavier cape, and they can line my armor on my arms and my legs. But to be honest with you, I move around so much, and
you just body heat.
I weigh 280 right now, so I'm like my own furnace.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So walking around, and then plus I'm going up the elevators. I'm getting in elevators where it's actually warm
So you have
from
that
time to time. So I'm going up to different levels and doing different appearances. So constantly moving, so it's not that bad.
That's awesome. And do you get tagged in a lot of photos and stuff for that too? So I mean, you probably get a lot of follows that way as well.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Especially the Titans have an awesome photographer too. And he's always getting the best pictures of everybody. So
I've seen some of the photos on your Instagram of you as the Titan Man, and just beautiful shots.
Yeah, those are all from him. So shout out Donald Page.
Nice. So when you went into it, did you know that you needed to build an audience, or did you just kind of get a following just through people word of mouth, or did you ever actually set out to get more followers? Or?
Back in the day, I kind of I knew that more followers would translate to more business and everything else, so I always try to be super active on there, like other people's stuff, comment on other people's stuff. It just wasn't as genuine interaction. So now that I've got a decent amount of followers, that I just stay genuine. If I see something, I like something, which means I'm usually liking a lot of food pictures. I'm usually liking people's progress pictures, because that always helps to have it confirmation.
Of course,
that you're on the right track. So,
well, when you sat down here, you took a snap for, I guess, your Instagram story. Yeah. Is that just part of your life?
Yeah, it's just part of it. I think I've got over 1,000 or 2 people a day that just look at my stories, and I'm like, I never knew it was that interesting, but they love it. So
I think people love to just take a look inside other people's lives.
Right.
I think we're all like a little voyeuristic in that sense.
Yeah.
And like, you're a very interesting person, so makes sense to me.
So on your YouTube channel, one thing I was noticing yesterday, we've talked about this previously, and I don't know that I don't even know that you make your own like thumbnail graphics and everything.
Yeah, I make it.
But I mean, do you put any thought into that? Because I mean, it looks like you do something a little different. You're not just uploading a picture from the image. I mean, you do have something to kind of drag people in. Like, what's that process like for you?
Usually on that, I'll edit my video. See, I could make the videos look a lot better if I invested the time and resources into editing software and different laptops and stuff like this. I've got a decent camera, so I just transfer everything to my phone, do it on iMovie. Simple. There's usually not enough time in the day for me to sit down on the laptop and actually do something.
Yeah.
So I'm like at the gym doing cardio and I'm editing, and
That's awesome.
They're like, how's your finger so steady when you're moving like that? I'm like, you just get used to it.
You're just trained.
And I'll the clickbait, it's all about the clickbait on YouTube.
Yeah, just figuring out
I'm not the best at it, but I always just try to grab probably one of the best looking still photos in the video
and throw some text on it,
sharpen it up a little bit.
I definitely think you do a great job with it. I mean, there was definitely videos catching my eye and click, and then I'd noticed that those videos had like some of the most views too. So I was like, okay, so there's a correlation here. But yeah, no, it is awesome just to know that you can. I mean, everything doesn't have to be perfectly, shot on a huge big budget camera, because I think your videos are great the way they do, and they come across real, and it gets to know you better. I think it definitely works. So I dig it. I think you're doing a great job.
I don't know if you've ever seen like Matt Stoney. He's got over so many million subscribers on YouTube, and it's the plainest editing you've ever seen. It's just like flash word on screen, then me, then flash word on screen. But people love it. Just it's
that's all it needs to be, especially more and more with like Twitch and stuff like that. Like people just getting more involved in like watching someone play a video game or something. I think people have just become more accustomed to that, and that's more acceptable. And honestly, some people probably just seek out videos that are more real and more authentic, because that there isn't some big lights or smoothing features on their skin or anything like that.
Well, here's the thing. I used to have my videos professionally edited, and I mean, they were awesome. They're like cinematic quality, and those weren't even getting as many views as my vlogs. I'm like, what's the point in wasting all this time getting this done? I'm more about, hey, it happened today. Let me get it up today or tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's relevant then too. Like you can, and then it's fresh in your mind. You can engage with people who are commenting on it. So you
got to get it out while it's still on people's minds.
Absolutely.
Especially if you posted something on Instagram, like, just like the donut, the Titan Tower. I had it edited, probably and ready to go on YouTube. Everything. Like a few hours later.
That's what I was going to ask
you. But I didn't upload it until Sunday, because I'm like, all right, nobody's probably going to watch this on Saturday night, so I'll wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
When there's better interaction. So
that's something that we've talked about just around the office recently, is like timing is very important.
Right.
And it's something that a lot of people may not consider when they do stuff on social media. So I like to hear that you're considering it. That makes me happy.
I wish I knew more about the algorithms, and I've never really looked into it. I don't care. I'm just going to do my own thing,
Well, and if you're posting like the way that you do, it's kind of just you're always out there and online.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, more frequency is always going to help, and I mean, I feel like you do have a very frequent engagement there too.
I would like to do a lot more on YouTube, It's just, point to find a time to do it, because, I mean, if you think about it, that's really the only social media platform that will pay you.
Yeah, that's true too.
For views,
So when did you, and that's kind of even a thing we can cross over. I know you had kind of talked about making that transition into having a paid service online. How did you set that up, like as far as finding clients and, just figuring out the mechanics of how that would work?
Yeah.
Because it's DreamWeaverFit, correct?
That's right. DreamWeaverFit.com. We've got all kinds of stuff on there. I've got a meal prep service for here local, Bowling Green and Glasgow pickups. I pay Elmas to make the bowls. I've got them, they know which ones.
Yes.
I go to Elmas every Wednesday, and I see your the Bartley Bowl on.
That's
the menu.
what I was going to ask you about. Like, how did that feel to have a whole meal named after you?
Oh, it's pretty awesome, especially when people tag me in it too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, because it's delicious.
Right.
Also.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got the meal prep service. I do apparel, sell apparel.
Okay. Yeah.
And basically, the apparel stemmed off of clients that were proud of their progress and wanted to be a part of a team.
Yeah, of course.
So it spawned off of that. And then I started doing all this different food stuff. So, of course, I got to have all different food shirts. People love that. I even take those to bodybuilding shows and set up booths, sell that, because everybody wants a donut shirt when they're about to eat a donut. Everybody wants a pizza shirt,
Yeah.
So I did all that. But as far as clientele through personal training and all that stuff, it's actually pretty funny. I've helped people for years. I took time to learn my body and figure out how to do it. A lot of people nowadays they'll do one competition and think they're certified coach, and I wouldn't feel comfortable coaching somebody if I didn't even know how to do it myself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I try to practice what I preach, and I did that for years, and then people started coming to me, you take any clients, I'm like, yeah. So before I had my website, I was going to people's houses and I was writing the plans down, and it was, taking an hour or two. I was investing a lot of time, face to face, without even a payment first. Then I had a client that didn't pay me. I'm like,
yeah.
He's like, all right, let me get you next month. I'm like, all right, man, double up, yeah. And then never saw anything. I don't know why you'd want to make a state trooper mad, but
exactly.
I didn't do anything, but
of course not.
But so I was like, we're going to do this the real deal. If somebody wants something, they're going to pay up front. They'll get their services that they pay for. And that pretty much, I was like, well, how do you build a website? And I looked it up. I just got on GoDaddy. It looked like the simplest one to drag and drop
and do what
stuff.
you need to.
And I did it all myself pretty much. And just I've got different programs I've created, the Word documents.
Nice.
Put them in PDF. That way I can email as soon as somebody buys one. I can shoot it on over. As far as like the custom plans, I'll send them a questionnaire. They'll send me their progress pictures, and I'll come up with a plan based off their body composition. And I've got a pretty lengthy questionnaire that tells me foods they like, foods they don't like, what days of the week they need off.
Yeah.
And just basically try to cater it to their schedule and take all the guessing out of it.
That's awesome.
Really interesting. And the ability to do that online is very appealing.
Oh, right.
Because it's maybe sometimes intimidating to get started. So if you can not have to do it like in front of a person to begin with, that's really cool.
And see, the thing about online coaching is people are terrified to send progress pictures. I'm like, look, you got my word. I'm not going to send anything. I'm not going to post anything without your permission.
Of course.
First, but that's the accountability factor. Like I've even had people like send me pictures after they quit with me, just to keep them accountable.
Right.
Like if I know that I've got to send you pictures and you have been doing this forever and you got to look at me, then I know that I'm going to not cheat on my diet.
Right.
Yeah.
I
hear that. And you kind of mentioned it with the state trooper thing. This is kind of like a side gig for you. How do you balance? Right. How do you balance doing as much as you do with having a full-time job as well?
Well, that's why I enjoy night shifts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
okay. Yeah.
I got the whole day to kind of do my own thing, get in a little routine. You know, I'll wake up, I'll eat breakfast, I'll go to the gym, come back. Then I got several hours before work. So, you know, I'm working on programs then, and I've even been known to work when I get off work late at night. I'm just like a little tired, but I'm like, all right, I need to get this done.
So my question is, do you sleep?
No, I do.
Good.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I've got to get 7 hours of sleep.
Okay. So that's
I am the same way.
I've got to get 7 hours of sleep or I'm not worth nothing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So to kind of put a bow on things, something we always ask everybody we bring into interview is there something that you, like a lesson that you've learned or a quote maybe that's kind of been something that you go back to motivate you when times are rough or something like that?
Actually, something pretty significant as of recent. I can't share all the details about it. I've signed a contract, non-disclosure agreement until the TV show comes out.
Okay.
But, you know, I've been faced with challenges all my life. Injuries, you know, anytime you're performing at an elite level, there's going to be injuries. Anytime you work out as hard as I do, for as long as I have, there's going to be injuries. It's part of it, you know. So I had I tore my left hamstring and pulled my right one at an event in California.
Okay.
Last month. So I had 3 weeks from that event until this big event that I can't speak of.
Okay.
Where I had to be at my absolute best athletic shape of my life.
Yeah.
You know, biggest event ever. Be on national TV and stuff. So I was like, man, this is, you know, that would shut a lot of people down. I mean, you know, luckily I've had enough injuries and I'm like, listen, we're going to do all we can. You know, the main thing about this whole ramble I'm doing is your body will quit before your mind does.
Okay.
So you got to strengthen your mind first. And believe positive thoughts and believe that you can do it. Yeah. Because your body's going to give out. It's going to get fatigued. All right. So I did my best I could do to recover, get ready for this thing, you know, in the hardest battle of my life. And, you know, probably something I shouldn't be doing 3 weeks removed from that. But, you know, I just had to dig deep and tell myself, you know, my body's definitely wanting to stop right now. It wants to stop. Yeah. It wants to stop 5 minutes ago, you know. But I just had to tell myself that it's all up here.
It's all in your mind.
It's all in your mind. And we just kept on fighting. And, you know, I wasn't ready to go home, so.
I hear that. That's good. I mean, it's good to keep that in mind, you know.
And I can't wait to see whatever it is you're talking about. So
it's
keep an eye out for it.
Well, I really thank you for sitting down with us today and kind of going through everything. And
do you want to plug your social accounts or anything that you've got coming up?
Yeah, DreamWeaver IV on Instagram. I'm not very active on Twitter, but that would be the same, DreamWeaver IV. I usually just shoot my Instagrams over to my
that works.
Twitter. Facebook, I'm actually maxed out on friends, but I have a page, DreamWeaverFit, that people can join. Always look out for my transformation challenges. Usually do quarterly transformation challenges.
Awesome.
For clients. I have a book that I sell on my website. It's called the Transformation Playbook. Cool. Basically, you know, tells you everything that you need to do if you couldn't afford a coach and didn't want to have interaction with a coach. You've got a book that tells you everything.
Right on.
It took me like 6 months to work on that every night and get that ready. So that's another option for people. YouTube, DreamWeaverFit as well. If you want to reach me by email, results@dreamweaverfit.com. No question goes unanswered. I think that's why a lot of people
reach out,
follow me. You know, just because, you know, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
That's awesome. That's good to have that engagement for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming
Absolutely.
today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
So that was Bartley Weaver. It was really fun talking to him. You know, it's always interesting. We didn't know Bartley before he came in, so it was kind of cool to like get to know someone throughout the course of the interview. He has a lot of cool stuff going on in his life, and he stays real busy.
Yeah, he does. And to have like a food challenge named after you and a dish at Al Mazatlan, like, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's wild. I always see that Bartley Bowl on the menu, and I know that Austin and John, you know, have worked with Bartley in the past, and I'm always just like, that's that guy. I've never met him before. So now I can attach a name to a face, and hopefully you all can attach at least a voice to a name, and you got to know Bartley Weaver on this episode.
Yeah, and next episode we'll be talking to Sean Rubel. Sean is the CEO and owner of Easy.com. That's EZY.com. And gosh, his company does a lot of really cool and useful stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to him a little bit about it when I first started using Photoshop back when I was doing like band flyers and posters for local bands I was in. I was using some of the paintbrushes he was using on some of his sites that he got his start with on Easy. So it's like, I would have never thought that company was in Bowling Green, but they have a fascinating story, and he's got a lot of really cool tips that he's used to start his business and get things running efficiently.
Yes, so SEO is a huge focus for myself and within the company. That it's something that my original goal was to just build Brush Easy and rank for the term Photoshop brushes.
Right.
And pretty quickly that happened, and then I thought, okay, what other terms can I rank for to get even more traffic?
So be sure you subscribe to On the Line so that you don't miss that episode coming soon with Sean Rubel from Easy.com. That's EZY.com.
You can follow us On the Line Pod on Twitter or search for On the Line Podcast on Facebook and like us there for updates on upcoming episodes and what we've got going on. We also appreciate if you give us a review or a few star ratings wherever you get your podcast.
Those are very helpful.
Well, that's it for this week's episode, and have a good one.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.